and skill-based syllabus, more and more teachers have realized the effectiveness and practicality of teaching what the students need and not what the syllabus or the curriculum dictates. Hence, the birth of English for specific purposes. Hutchinson and Waters 1987 use ESP as an approach rather than a product, by which they mean that ESP doesn't involve a particular kind of language, teaching material, or methodology. They suggest that the foundation of ESP is the simple question, why does this learner need to learn a foreign language? Quote, the answer to this question relates to the learners, the language required and the learning context, and thus establishes the primacy of need in ESP. Origins of ESP. Notably, there are three reasons common to the emergence of all ESP: the demands of a brave new world, a revolution in linguistics, and focus on the learner. Hutchinson and Waters, 1987. 1. The demands of a brave new world. Hutchinson and Waters, 1987, note that two key historical periods breathed life into ESP. First, the end of the Second World War brought with it an age of enormous and unprecedented expansion in scientific, technical and economic activity on an international scale for various reasons, most notably the economic power of the United States in the post-war world. The role of international language fell to English. Second, the oil crisis of the early 1970s resulted in Western money and knowledge flowing into the oil-rich countries. The language of this knowledge became English. The general effect of all this development was to exert pressure on the language teaching profession to deliver the required goods. Whereas English had previously decided its own destiny, it now became subject to the wishes, needs and demands of people other than language teachers. Hutchinson and Waters, 1987. 2. A revolution in linguistics. The second key reason cited as having a tremendous impact on the emergence of ESP was a revolution in linguistics. Whereas traditional linguists set out to describe the features of language, revolutionary pioneers in linguistics began to focus on the ways in which language is used in real communication. Hutchinson and Waters, 1987, point out that one significant discovery was in the ways that spoken and written English vary. In other words, given the particular context in which English is used, the variant of English will change. This idea was taken one step farther. If language in different situations varies, then tailoring language instruction to meet the needs of learners in specific contexts is also possible. Hence, in the late 1960s and the early 1970s there were many attempts to describe English for science and technology. Hutchinson and Waters, 1987, identify Ewer and Lawtory, Swales, Selinker and Trimble as a few of the prominent descriptive est pioneers. 3. Focus on the learner. The final reason Hutchinson and Waters, 1987, cite as having influenced the emergence of ESP has less to do with linguistics and everything to do psychology. Rather than simply focus on the method of language delivery, more attention was given to the ways in which learners acquire language and the differences in the ways language is acquired. Learners were seen to employ different learning strategies, use different skills, enter with different learning schemata, and be motivated by different needs and interests. Therefore, focus on the learner's needs became equally paramount as the methods employed to disseminate linguistic knowledge. Designing specific courses to better meet these individual needs was a natural extension of this thinking.